Hello, Sharks. We come today to discuss computer tracking chips in humans. This science fiction idea is quickly becoming a reality. This topic is shown in numerous novels and movies, such as 1984 by George Orwell. George Orwell wrote about a dystopian society where people were constantly under the watchful eye of the government. This idea also appears in the movie Kingsman and James Bond.
Talk loud.
The tracking chips that are appearing these days are the size of a grain of rice and can follow your every move and or may be used to pay for goods, bus passes, or they can be used as a digital passport or credit card. While this idea may seem a topic for the distant future, it is not. If you think about your iPhone, you can begin to see the development of tracking. Through the apps of Find My iPhone and other iPhone tracking apps, your phone is turned into a tracking device. Aside from iPhone tracking, actual tracking chips are developing at an alarming rate. A Swedish company, Epicenter, recently implanted 150 employees with a tracking chip to monitor their working habits. The company tracks their staff to monitor their bathroom breaks and lunch breaks. Due to this quickly growing trend, we come today to Shark Tank to prove that human tracking in humans should not occur. While in some rare circumstances tracking chips can be convenient and helpful, the benefits don't outweigh the risks and the invasion to privacy. Alright, these tracking chips are a huge privacy invasion and should be stopped at all costs.
Privacy is a major issue when it comes to implanting these microchips into our bodies. The government, corporations, and even hackers can track where you're at all times. We are currently living in an age where we are slowly giving up all our privacy. 10 years ago, it would have been absurd to even put one's name on the internet. Now we put everything from where we live to what we like on our social media accounts. Allowing others to track us is where we need to draw the line. If you think no one else can track you just because you aren't putting your tracking chip data on the internet, then you're wrong. Hackers infiltrate major corporations and leak data all the time. Last year, 1.7 million Snapchat users' data was leaked by hackers. Not to mention the fact that human tracking chips are a new technology and therefore are full of bugs, thus making it twice as easy for people to exploit the chips. Alright, pause it right there. Hackers aren't even the worst of the problems. Implanting tracker chips into our bodies is just putting us one step closer to complete government control. Back in 2014, it was revealed. These all are valid and legit reasons. We believe slowly giving up one's privacy is a slippery slope. The way we think about it, our personal data has already changed so much in the past years. Where will we draw the line? How much privacy are we willing to give up before it's too much? Don't just accept human tracking chips as the newest technological fad. Think about if you are truly willing to give up all your privacy.
Our argument is further proven by the views of Mary Shelley. Throughout Frankenstein, Shelley shows how the creation of our monster, or in our case, human tracking chips, should not be made without proper thought about how they work. The first quote of Shelley's occurs after Victor creates the beast and realizes what he has done. But now that I finished, the beauty of the dream vanished and breathless horror and disgust filled my heart. This quote essentially means that while the idea seemed ideal and fantastic in conjecture, once the dice are rolled and the idea was put into practice, it is now realized as being terrible and awful. Victor was lost in the dream of creating a new master race and being named God, but when his experiment became reality and the veil was lifted, it didn't look so pretty. This is related to our argument in a very direct way. The idea of creating a utopian world by constantly knowing where everyone is and how and what everyone is doing seems like a good idea. But if every person is being watched, how can there be any crime? This idea seems good, but if it is put into practice, it will fail. Similar to communism, where every single person should in idea be equal. When the system is put into practice, and it quickly fails. It is human nature to try and gain power, and in some humans' nature to commit crimes. Being constantly watched and tracked will not be a solution to crime, but merely an invasion to privacy. The dream of a utopian society is beautiful, but the reality is that it can never occur. In conclusion, not only do we stand against mandatory human tracking chips, but so does Mary Shelley.
we did.
So you guys
We
put it on. You
proved
guys
the
see what you were doing.
Mark,
I
we
gotta roll up
proved-
my pant legs, and it's just like what you said there is the perfect embodiment of who you guys are. You made somebody pay you to do a proof of concept that lasted 2 years before you were even sure you were going to be in the business, right?
Mark, just say,
Mark,
I'm
I
out.
appreciate all of the
I'm
input.
out.
And the reason is because we're getting hundreds of requests a day to sell the product.
Do you have
That's fair
hundreds
enough.
of people coming to a day to buy the machine?
We get hundreds of leads through these message boards a day.
Which message board are you on?
Well, quite frankly, the internet searches is just been organic by posting PR web, press releases.
I'm out. I am so out.
Thank God
I am
he's out.
so out.
Thank God
I am
he's
so out. It was a simple question.
The message boards
What
is
internet
actually
message
something-
boards were you on? And then you start talking about organic
Because
searches.
I wasn't involved.